this contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. What's up, everybody? It's Big Al. It's the Professor. We are around the Turnbuckle. It is Sunday, live, 6 o'clock, and we have finally the Professor. Finally. Marvelous Malcolm King. What's up, man?
Oh, not much. How you guys doing? It's a beautiful Sunday.
It is awesome.
The bees is buzzing. I'm pretty sure there's a bird nest behind me, so I'm kind of scared.
You got to watch those robins. You know, those robins will defend those babies any way. You know, they get vicious.
Yeah, I don't think it's a robin. I think it's like a blue jay.
I have a robin's nest out my back door. Like where my back door has a hutch, like an overhang, and underneath there's a robin's nest there. So we have watched the babies grow up the past month or so, and they've already left the nest.
That's cool.
So yeah, we saw their little beaks like coming up for worms, and then she'd come up and give them something. So all right, so that's the National Geographic portion of the show, Professor.
Yeah. Learning things here. We're learning.
So listen, guys, in case you don't know, and if you're not watching live, if you're watching this on replay and you're not able to comment, we have known this man here for the better part of 4 years. When we first started going down to 3WA shows, we met him. And first and foremost, man, the first 3WA show that I went to when you came out, I was overwhelmed. I was like, my God, this guy's going to kill somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you come out and you just have a presence. Do you feel that back by the fans?
I appreciate that. I mean, but like, I think, yeah, because like they don't come to me unless I talk to them.
Yep.
I mean, like Malcolm King, he is Malcolm King, and Jamal, he's just this nice, humble guy that's just like do anything and everything for everybody. Make sure that if you ain't have no food, I'm gonna make sure you eat. But like that's two different people. Malcolm King, he can be the meanest, baddest man in the whole damn town.
And you sell it, because I mean, like you were talking about, I did not approach you at first. You had to approach me first because you sell the Malcolm King character so well that it is like shit. Because you always think like it's got to be some part of somebody's personality. We always say the best gimmicks are you turned up to 11, so you wonder like, was this guy really like kind of this I hate people and I don't want to deal with anybody? And then you come over and you're the nicest guy. You're like, how's it going? You know? And it's like, oh, okay. He isn't that guy.
Yeah, once people start talking to me, they're like, man, you're like a teddy bear. I go, yeah, I hate that term, but yeah, like I always make sure, I don't know, I always want to be liked by people. Like, I don't want no one to hate me. I don't want no one to think that I'm anything but like nice. But at the same time, Malcolm King is that side that you don't want to see.
Yeah.
You know, he's that split personality that we all got.
So I mean, most people in the area in the business know that you are you are the CEO of Seven Mountains, and we'll talk about Seven Mountains in a minute. But you also wrestle for several other promotions. One, including, is Valor, and you were recently there. Were you not this past weekend?
Yeah, I wrestled a double for the show. I wrestled Aaron Truth and King Rakim in the tag match, and then since they wanted to demand stuff, general manager, the commissioner, Rob Noxious, said, "Well, since you wrestled them for their titles, they're going to wrestle you for your titles." So I wrestled the heavyweight champion, and I don't know what happened. I won the match, like we were celebrating, and then somehow the referee came back to consciousness and said that I hurt him, and I was disqualified.
I heard that was a rumor that was referee Lance Marshall's. You and I know him, Professor.
No, it was Aubrey Rose.
Oh, okay. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what you're referring to is a comment that Dave Motorman made at the
I'm
top,
gonna bring that up. Yes.
and he said that it was a Lance Marshall's type referee
Yeah.
call,
So
not
okay. So
Lance
here's the
Marshall type
comment. Here's the
call.
comment, Malcolm. He says Sunday night around the turnbuckle are excited to learn more about Marvelous Malcolm King. You know, Big Nasty would be the new Valor champion today, if not for a Lance Marshall's type referee call.
Wow. Yeah, I get it. Lance Marshall's known for that type of stuff, huh?
Well,
Will, will
a 4-year-old gave him a coloring book to learn how to
Oh
count to
my
three.
God! Will you leave? Look, the man's not the best referee in the world, but my God, the way you pile on
Do you
there,
think he watches this show?
I'm sure I've heard things. Lance has come up to me every once. We know Robbie Mills is getting in the ring come Saturday with Damon Dante out. I would be very, very worried that Lance Marshalls isn't going to go to 3WA management and say, you know what? Al can ring announce. Al can also wrestle too.
I'm not a wrestler, Professor. I'm needed next to you in commentary. Thank you. All
Yeah,
right,
you're not.
Malcolm, you know this guy, the roadblock Chad McCoy. Malcolm King, one of the best big men in the business, worked many times with the roadblock.
Very true.
Yeah, yeah, he's a good guy. I wrestled Roadblock probably like 7 or 8 different times within like a year. Um, I wrestled with him versus Shane Douglas with
Yep.
JT Cage.
I called that match. Was very proud to
Yeah,
call that
So did
match.
I.
it was
Yeah.
a real good match.
Oh yeah, you guys killed it.
The only thing, it cut it short because Shane Douglas got his head in the way of
You got
JT
split
Cage.
open by JT Cage with the belt.
hmm I
I
mean, honestly, it was an honor wrestling in the ring with him, and I had fun. You know, at the end of the day, Roadblock's a good guy. He's been around a long time. He's like 88 years old now.
Oh my God. See, I was gonna say his age, and then you go there. So I'm like, all right, you know what?
Yeah,
you're
and
Uh,
gonna
Mr.
you're gonna have to
Mr.
wrestle a
Officer,
9th or a 10th
Mr.
time now off of
Officer, don't
that.
pull me over. Don't pull me over, Mr. Officer.
yeah. Jason says hello.
Yeah, Jason's a good guy. He's probably the most loyal fan there is. Like, I call him Andre.
Absolutely.
I call him Andre
Absolutely.
every time I see him. I go, Andre, how you doing? I don't even call him Jason. Like, and everybody's like, his name's Jason. I go, yeah. Like, he's big like Andre the Giant.
So David Hill, it's part of one of the best tag teams, Big Nasty, Valor, and CCW. They need to come to SWO, and SWO had a great show last night. Yes, they did. We were part of that show.
Yeah.
The professor and I. The professor had the call play by play, and I was ring announcer there. Seven Valleys was off the hook, but that was at the same time, right across the highway, so to speak, over in York. That's where the Valor show was, right?
Yep. It was very
Yeah, it
busy
was
in
in
that
York.
area.
So, to answer that question about we need to come there to SWO, I mean, it's been said multiple times, and it just ain't happened. So, whatever's in the foreseeable future, I don't think I'm probably gonna be there because the simple fact is, we're not clashing.
Well, right, because a lot of times you guys run the same weekend that they do. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that
Definitely.
too. But like, you know, things happen, so there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
you never know.
There
So
might be
like, so
more
we've
politics there.
never.
I know what you're saying.
So the first time we ever have somebody on, we like to go back to the beginning, man. So take us back to what made you fall in love with wrestling in the first place, because you wouldn't get in there and put your body on the line if it wasn't for the passion you have for it. So where did that come from for you?
Watching WWF back in the day and WCW, I'm a big WCW diehard fan. Like pretty much nobody really remembers. You remember when Ric Flair hit Hulk Hogan in the face with the crutch,
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
and it hit him in the eye, and Hogan sold the eye, and all of that stuff. Nobody really
Yeah.
remembers. They go, that never happened. Or when Bob Backlund put Jim Ross in the cripple cross, I mean not cripple crossface,
The chicken
crossface
wing,
chicken wing,
crossface chicken wing.
and he say my name, say Mr. Backlund, and he was like, Mr. Backlund, Mr. Backlund. It was that type of stuff. That's why I fell in love with wrestling, and wrestling gave me like a different outlook on life. Like there was more than football, basketball, soccer, all types of sports. Wrestling was my thing. I mean, I was good at every sport there is, but like, you know,
Wrestling had that extra something.
yeah, it was for me. I already knew by the age of 9 that I was going to be a wrestler. Just didn't know how and where and who and what I was going to do.
So I mean, where did you start? I mean, where did you get your start in the business? Like you found training somewhere. Did you know somebody, or did you know where to go?
All right, so it was like 2000 and I'm gonna say 2004, 2005. I started doing research, and I was looking up schools, and I was like, man, I'm gonna go to the power plant. That's great. That's awesome. That's a good place to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, um, as I'm looking, I go, wait a minute, hold on. There's a school in Harrisburg, right there in Harrisburg, off of 7th Street. And I go, I'm gonna call this guy, go check him out. There was the Wild Samoans in Allentown.
Mhm.
There was a couple other schools. It really wasn't when I was going to be a wrestler. There wasn't a lot of schools, but there was enough to hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
So I called
Shout out,
Rob
shout out to
Knox's.
Mark Mass. The dungeon was there as well.
Yeah, of course, the dungeon's always been there.
Yeah.
So, but Harrisburg was closer because I lived in Harrisburg.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, I'm gonna call this guy. His name was Rob Knox's, and I go, okay. He was like, you can come to the Fort Knox's training center, come check it out and everything. So we met up. I met him at the building. He was there. Jay Money was there. If you don't know who that is, he's one half of that '80s team, and him and Petey Knox's. But like Jay Money was there in the ring with Ryan Luke. Ryan Luke is probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Like he could do things that you see on TV now. He was doing it before everybody else was doing it. That's not a joke. That is the straight shoot. He was doing these things way before everybody else was. And Ryan Luke was awesome. Like when you watch Seth Rollins, if Ryan Luke would have stayed in wrestling, you wouldn't be saying Seth freaking Rollins. You'd be saying Ryan freaking Luke.
Hmm.
I know what you're
'Cause he
saying.
was
I
great.
think back to Mike Bucci Nova. If he had been able to get the stuff that he was doing in ECW on mainstream television, you would
Yeah.
not be remembering him as Simon Dean because everybody stole from him. Because well, he's not on mainstream TV. I can steal his moves and get it over, and everybody will just think, oh well, I invented it when they didn't.
Yeah. So went to the school. And my uncle Poochie took me the first time, and he was like, "You want to do this? You can do this. You got to finish school though. Your mom wants you to finish school. And honestly, I didn't really care about graduating. I'm gonna be honest, but I graduated. And, I was glad I graduated too, because I got to see my dad and my mom cry, and my aunt and my uncles. They all was crying. So I say a little bit down the line, a year and a half later, I started training with Rob. I'm gonna have to say this clear as day. Rob Knox is the main reason why I am where I'm at. Because the simple fact, his training, it just elevates you. Like everything that, like, everyone goes to seminars and they tell you all this stuff. Everything that they tell us at seminars, he tells us already. We already know all of this stuff because of the simple fact how he trains us, how he teaches us things. He makes you want to be better regardless of how you think you're good at it.
And that's what you should be doing as a trainer.
Yeah.
Because what if you're not able to teach, you can teach somebody how to do the moves, but I feel like if you're not doing psychology, if you're not teaching somebody how to put it together, you can't really say that you're giving somebody the best education for their money. I mean, some of it is intuitive and you have to do it and you have to get hands on and all of that. But
Mm-hmm.
I do think there's an element of it from watching it and maybe having some guidance
Yeah.
that
Also, I want
brings
to.
that out.
I would like to also at this moment tell like Rob Knox was the main. Mark Mess, he had part in my training. You got J Money, like you got Jason Havoc, you got Damien Destruction, Mikey Raff, which the list goes on a lot, like of people who helped me with everything that I needed. Ox Hog, big old tater head. He's always been there for me. I wrestled Ox. My first match against Ox, it was crazy because it was tight. And as soon as we get out of the ring and get to the back and everything, Jake the Snake's right there at the entrance, and he goes, "Hey, way to go, boys! That was a good stiff match. I got to tell you, I loved it." And I was like, man, that's cool. And then later
Yeah.
on, I wrestled Jake the Snake in a elimination style type of Survivor Series elimination match.
How about that?
Yeah,
Uh, Jason wants to know: do you prefer heel or face?
I like being whatever I can be. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, because the simple fact, it's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said once, and I don't remember who it was. It really didn't hurt my feelings. They were like, "You can't be a face," and I was like, "That's funny." And I was like,
Not,
"Huh, okay,
not pretty enough, or like, what do they mean by that?
Yeah, your size makes it
right."
hard.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah,
Like, so, and they were like, "You're good at heel as being a heel, but you are not. No one's gonna like you because how big you are." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not really that big, but okay." So down the line, I started going to the ring. This is before Brodus Clay came to the ring, dancing and everything. I was going to the ring. Now listen to this. I was going to the ring to In Living Color, the TV show In Living Color, the theme song by Heavy
mhm.
D, and
Yes,
I would be dancing with the kids and stuff. Now, number one,
I'm getting this
everybody
picture in my head, man.
I am
didn't
too.
nobody know I could dance. They thought that I was just some big dude that just didn't know how to do stuff. No, I know how to dance. So the kids loved me. Like I was a great. Like I'm great at being face because I utilize what is important, and that's getting the kids' attention. Because once you get the kids, the parents are going to start loving you.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So So, at what point have you sued Brodus Clay for royalties, or is that case still pending? Because it sounds like he might owe you some money.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I was dancing way before Brodus Clay was even thought about. But at the same time, I look at it as I inspire people. Like like Piper, that crossbody she does.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for years. I was at training one day, and somebody was sitting down, and I said, "Hey, don't move. I'm about to do something." They go, "What?" I said, "I'm gonna do a crossbody." They go, "Well, no, you're not doing that to me." and I did it, and they were like, "Man, that's gonna be a great finish." I go, "I know, because it's so how do you say impactful
Oh
and
yeah.
cringing. Like you cringe every time."
Yeah, it gets the. I mean, the fans. You get a reaction out of it every single time, no matter what.
Yeah, so like I inspired. So like it doesn't bother me that like something that I like created or thought of doing before somebody else did, it doesn't bother me. Like somebody probably did Dance into the Ring done Living Color before me. Actually, no one has, but
I don't
Yeah.
somebody probably did Dance to the Ring though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Before our time, man. Before our time, we didn't know
Yeah.
about it.
And
yeah,
that's always the hard thing about wrestling is saying, well, who's first? Because it's so hard to pin down a first, because anybody you could think of that's first, you could go, well, there was this little show somewhere, or
Yeah.
there was this out of the way territory, and somebody. It's almost impossible because we do such a bad job keeping the history of this business and being able to document stuff. But part of why we do a bad job of it is because we're so
I
fragmented.
mean, there's been a lot of gimmicks over the years that called themselves the Professor,
Yeah.
Professor Tanaka, Professor Mike Tanay. You know,
And I
Leaping Lenny Poffo gave you his blessing.
yeah, and I appreciate that. I mean, I stole this, I admit it, but I didn't steal it from a wrestler. I stole it from
Well, what
Yank.
did he say?
Yeah,
He said it doesn't matter who did what way back when. What matters is you're the best professor you
what
can
you
be.
do now, yeah.
I
And I
mean, but like
appreciate that.
honestly, you can't say stolen because nothing is. Well, there is stuff can be stolen, but
Yeah.
No,
like
it's not stolen. It's
If
doing it your way.
Yeah, what is the quote? If you take from one person, it's stealing. If you take from a bunch of people, it's homage.
yeah. So I mean, honestly, I know I've always been Marvelous Malcolm King, but since the name came out, since I came out with
Hmm.
it. But like I used to come out as Shasta Watley Jr. And if Rob's watching, he,
He knows Shasta.
so he one day we were this is I was still young in the business, and when I first debuted, I debuted as Jamal.
Okay.
All right. So then we did another show, and nobody know who Shasta Watley is. It's Perez Watley, if you didn't know.
Mhm.
Perez Watley. So I used to love doing like his promos. I love his promos. Like he would just be with his little top hat on and everything, yelling, talking about, you know what we're gonna do. And I'm like, why are you yelling like that? That is great. You know, and like he had like a worm in his hand, and he was like sucker, and like just I use that like I'm not related to that man at all. And then I did the Jamala gimmick, which was an homage to Kamala, and which
Okay.
he gave me his blessings. He was like, yes, go ahead. Do that. I give you my blessings. He was like, you do a better
Yeah, I was
job.
wondering why Shango called you Jamala.
Yeah, that's why. Because I used to come out to the ring with makeup on my face and just it was a pair. It
He
was a pair
called
of
you
basketball.
Jamala Claus one time, and I said that guy's gonna kick your fucking ass.
Is there
No
is there
man.
video? I want video of this. I need
There
Yeah, there's
is.
video. There's video of Jamala.
I need it. I'm gonna find
Yeah,
it.
like
Get
everybody
it off
wanted me.
the air.
Like
That's what I'm doing.
when I was Jamala, when I retire, I'm gonna say this now. When I'm about to be retired, you may see Jamala up here. You might hear,
Yes, we need
uh,
it.
you might hear Margaret. Uh, the song is like don't. Ah! Like I picked the greatest song too. I always pick great music. I'm gonna be honest with
That's true.
you.
That is
That
I
true.
is true.
always pick great music. But like when you hear that, don't be surprised that you can see me come out with makeup and stuff on, because I said, and I told Rob this. I said when I retire, I'm gonna just go ahead and do my last years as Jamala.
I
All right.
got it.
So when you,
I get on a show that can, so I can call a Jamal a match now. I need to. It is now bucket list for me commentary
it's
wise.
gonna be
And,
awesome.
like everyone, I almost, you know what? I got a funny story. All right, so I
Good.
don't even care. I don't even care if Jay Lethal hears it. So it was Jay Lethal, Amazing Red, Sanjay Dutt was on the show at the ACW up in Denver, Pennsylvania. It was at the Stevens Fire Hall. So
I know where that is off 676.
yeah. So as I'm, we're doing everything. I meet Jay Lethal. He was cool, everything. Sanjay, I didn't really like him, and like he was like, I don't know. Amazing Red was cool too. So I don't have an issue with Sanjay, but like I just don't like him. He's not my cup
Sometimes
of tea.
people just oil and water.
Oh no, I'll speak to him, but I won't make it anything like have a conversation with him.
Yeah, just keep it professional.
Yeah. So I went out and wrestled a match as Jamala, and something did something. I did something wrong, and I did something right, but like I didn't, So we were talking, and Jay Lethal leaned back. Well, he isn't Jamala. I mean Kamala, and everyone looked and was like, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" Like, but like we ain't saying anything, and so I took it to heart. And I was like, "Fuck you mean by that?" So I waited and it was stewing in my mind. I was like, what the fuck does he mean? And so I said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to him real quick. So I went, he was like, hold up, wait a minute, I think he's calling this match. So I was like, uh-huh, okay. So I waited. I seen he was stop talking. I said, hey man, you got time? We could talk real quick. And he said something, and I was like he looked, and I was like, oh, I'm fucking him up later. That was my mind. Like I was like, I'm fucking him up. So
Damn.
and so after a while, I'm pacing back and forth. I'm pacing back and forth. Like only one person knows that what's about to happen. And only one person knows exactly what's about to happen. And so he comes over and I said, hey man, hey, come on, let's go outside and talk real quick. He was like, "Oh no, I'm not going outside." I was like, "Come on, let's go outside. I think it's in the best interest to go outside. Come on." And he was like, "I'm not going outside. It's cold. I'm in my shorts. That's because I'm in my fucking shorts too. Like I just want to talk outside. I don't want nobody else to hear the conversation." So he
Right.
told me, he explained to me what he meant by it, and I was like, "Okay, cool. It was good.
Yeah.
You was one of my favorite wrestlers. I remember when you won the fucking, the title in TNA.
Hmm.
So I was like, we're good. We're back on a good page or whatever. And a little bit later on, like I realized, that like I could have handled it better. But like I was still young in the business, but like at the
Hmm.
same time, he could have worded his wording towards me,
It's true.
knowing that like
Yeah.
knowing that like I told you earlier, you was one of my favorite wrestlers. And he was like, I thought he was blowing smoke up my ass. And he
Right.
was, no, he talks about you all the time. He was like, we talk all the time. That's my best friend. And so, like, we talked and everything was good. Now, on the other hand, I'm not gonna get into details on why I don't like Sanjay, but
Fair enough.
when you do this, it gets punched in.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Amazing Red he was cool as hell. He just stayed in the corner, and all three of them came there. He, all three of them, when they were in the corner, they well, he was in the corner, and he just ignored everything that was going on. But like after everything was like cool, he was like, "Yeah, I just didn't want no trouble." I was like, "It's all right, man." Like, and all due respect, like I had no issue with it or whatever. But I did hear one of the two of them said some things to make them look big for somebody, and it was like, all right, so I saw him again, and it was nothing said, so like it was cool. But at the end of the day, when Jay Lethal won the heavyweight title, the Ring of Honor heavyweight title
Right.
from shit, I can never say it.
Was
Jay
it?
Briscoe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it? It was Jay Briscoe, right?
Yeah. When he won the title from him, I was excited because number one, it made sense. Number
Mhm.
two, it told a story like that was like wrestling.
Yeah.
I got a T-shirt. It says, "Y'all call it um, old school, but I call it pro wrestling."
Right.
Yeah.
It's wrestling. It's professional wrestling. We're supposed to tell a story. We're supposed to have everybody on the edge of their seats trying to figure out who's going to win the match.
Mhm.
My goal is to have a 1980 styles type of match. And when I say this, a lot of people like 80 style. That's like old school wrestling. No, it's where they are not sitting down the whole time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're standing. When Ron Simmons won the WCW heavyweight title from
Hmm.
Vader, that kid that was at the gate jumping up and down, holding onto the guardrail. That's what type of stuff that I'm trying. Like I get them all the time. I get them. They excited, but like I want that type of feeling
Mhm.
to where everybody's excited. Because when I won the heavyweight title Saturday, they were excited, but it wasn't almost. It was almost there. And my goal is to have that type of style of a match. You can't name any matches nowadays on television that has that type of feel.
Nope.
You
Right.
can't. Cody Rhodes won the world title, right? Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong,
Yeah.
it was a great moment, but no one was standing. I mean, like standing the whole time. Like they were sitting, and they weren't like it was a great feeling. It had that. It's just now he's
To
got
me, it
a
was more a WrestleMania moment versus like one of the greatest
It was.
matches of all
It
time. If
was
you're gonna,
spectacle. It was
yeah,
spectacle.
if you're
yeah.
gonna go back in history, a lot of people talk about the greatest matches of all time. I don't think Cody versus Roman is gonna be in your top five.
No, no. You're gonna talk about the moment, kind of like
The
Hogan and
90s.
Andre, where you boil
Right.
Hogan and Andre down to certain moments,
Just to
certain
the
movements.
body slam, basically.
Right, it's the
Yeah.
body slam. Maybe you'll throw the leg drop because that's the finish, but you're not going to throw the whole match in there.
Nah. I love wrestling, like, and this is my passion. I'm
Yeah.
actually open a wrestling school. It's called King's University Wrestling School. I
Cool.
mean, and Kai Thomas is one of my students.
Good one.
Um,
And
I
yeah,
got
he's
another
doing
guy.
fantastic
His name.
stuff.
Yeah, I got a referee named Sean. I got Cam. He's a referee, and I got another Grant boy. That's a long time.
Yeah. Well, the younger one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, um, they all are, they're all young. They're excited about everything. And, we 3 days a week. And, I honestly like doing that better than wrestling. I'm going to be honest with you because I can come up with stuff.
Jason said he was happy for you when you won the title Saturday.
Yeah. Then that dang on referee.
Put it away.
Yeah.
Love it.
Go ahead.
But yeah, no. So let's backtrack just a second, okay? Because you went to Fort Knox, you wrestled for Rob probably for a while, and then you started to stretch out. What was the goal for you? Did you just want to create moments, create great matches, or was there any other goals you had in professional wrestling?
It's still on my to do list, but like I would love to have a match in the NWA. I mean, honestly,
Okay.
I probably retire after that, like because that was actually my goal. A lot of people always say WWE. Mine was WCW and NWA, and it was because
Right.
it was more prestige wrestling. You,
Right.
you did, like WWE is family. Everyone loves it, but like NWA, WCW was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
Um,
a wrestling company. That was a real gritty wrestling for the sake of wrestling kind of thing.
Yes.
yeah. So, you know, um, that was my goal. I mean, like, and be known all over the world, and which I am. there's people always messaging me on my Malcolm King page talking about, hey man, when you coming back to this state, or when you coming back to this state, or when you coming back to this area. And then there's people that just message me. They go, "Hey, I seen that you were doing this, and I'm messaging you from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, or like other places." Which it was pretty cool that people watch me on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, ask me some more questions.
I will.
We have
Jason wants to know singles or tag. Which do you prefer to do?
You know what? I mean, I'm getting older, but like I like doing singles and tag. I can't really pick one or the other
Hmm.
because I like working with my tag partner because like we clash together well. We already like it's the three amigos, me, Rob, and Bliss. We already tight.
Yeah.
So, we get to do what we love. Like, and we come up with stuff, and one idea might not be the same idea as the other, but like we coming into where it all makes sense. But yeah, I really do appreciate him wanting to tag with me because the simple fact I was going to quit wrestling after a situation happened. I was like, yeah, man, I gave my back to this business,
Yeah.
and I'm working hard, but like, eh, it was time to go. And once I, talked to him, I just was like, yep.
When did you start Seven Mountains?
Seven Mountains been around for like 3 years.
Okay.
I started Seven Mountains with Crazy Train Mike Lash.
Hmm.
And we did everything. We were, he had to take a sabbatical to, get things straight with his, health and that stuff. But like, yeah, and it's just been a it's just been running.
What was the impetus for starting Seven Mountains? Because I mean, you've been getting booked in a lot of different places, so it certainly wasn't a case of I need a home base for steady income. And I mean, the joke is always right. You start your own promotion and you go, hey, how do you make $5,000 in the wrestling business? Start with $10,000. It is not cheap to start a promotion to take that risk. So, I mean, what incentivizes you that you say, you know what, we've got to take this leap and we've got to try to do this?
So, um, Seven Mountains before Seven Mountains was here, and before HWF was here, in Lewistown, there was CCW, which was taken over because CPW, Central Pennsylvania Wrestling, was here, and I just wanted wrestling to keep going on up here, like. And I said something one day, and he was like, "This is what you do, and this is what you do." And we had the meeting, we talked. I came up with the name Seven Mountains Wrestling. It was just like that. And we, as a partner, we made sure that the fans got good old fashioned wrestling. Like, I I like doing hard. I don't actually. Let me stop lying. I don't like doing hardcore at all, but I can do it. There's a difference. I can do it without bitching about it. But the only reason why is because I hate thumbtacks.
Yeah, that's fair. I've stepped on thumbtacks before, and then I see like the 10,000 thumbtacks go out, and I'm like, motherfuckers be crazy. They
I had
voluntarily want to deal with that.
I had like 4 thumbtacks in my leg, in my upper leg, and 2 in my nuts.
Yeah, no,
What?
Yeah.
I'm done. I'll be like, never again. No, we ain't doing that. We done.
So my whole goal with Seven Mountains Wrestling is to have people come to a show, bring their families, and want to see wrestling. Now at the same time, you can't say family entertainment, but it is family entertainment. But like when you say family entertainment, you got the mom and dad there with the kids, and the mom is like, "You son of a," the
Yeah,
dad's like, "Kick his ass," and the
yeah,
daughter and the son is like, "Yeah, kick his ass, son of a bitch," you know. But there are some parents who don't like that you curse, so
yeah.
I try to like diet down some of the language, but the fans are the worst ones. Come to find
Yeah,
out, like,
they are.
like this one girl, um, I'm not gonna say her name. Like she was a loyal fan and everything, and I understood why she didn't bring her kids anymore because she did not want to have that type of environment around her kids. And I was like, I understand,
Yeah,
but like, and she was like, it's not the wrestlers, it's the fans,
yeah. Fans sometimes ruin it for everybody else because they don't take
right?
into account like there's other people there. It's not just about your enjoyment. You've got to be a good, for lack of a better term, citizen at the shows and realize, hey, there are other people here. Try to be respectful. That's why
Yes,
that's why I don't bring certain people to shows anymore because she kept embarrassing the kid.
yeah,
We had some newbies at the SWO show last night, man, that were really trying to get on the nerves of the wrestlers,
Yeah,
which is part of the fun, right? But
yeah.
when it gets derogatory, or when they're calling Matt Vertigo like Kyrie Irving and shit like that, that kind of pissed me off. But I mean, he handled it
Oh yeah.
professionally.
Matt Vertigo's a
That's why
total
he
pro.
does what he does, and
Yeah, Matt Vertigo's a total pro.
totally.
yeah.
But I mean, so man, we got about like 15 minutes left. Give us some of your greatest moments, like that you'll never forget, or maybe matches you'll never forget.
Um, when I won the heavyweight title,
Which one?
the CCW heavyweight championship.
Okay.
It was against Lobo Loco. That was my first heavyweight championship. It was number one. It was memorable because of the simple fact it was my first title belt.
Right.
Were you
Give me a
emotional?
second. I didn't cry.
I didn't mean that, but I meant a
No.
little overwhelmed with feeling.
No, I was happy though.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited. I was glad that it happened. I appreciated them having the faith in me. When when I beat Lobo Loco, um, it was in Lebanon, and it was I would have to say it was a nice, really, really vicious crowd there. I was a heel. I was Malcolm King, and that was when I had my T-shirts. I love soup but hate crackers.
Oh, wow. Damn.
You know who bought them T-shirts?
I don't know.
White people.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, like they love the T-shirt. But I
that's
would have to
funny.
say I would have to say like that was like a proud moment, and there is just so much that I can't just put all in and say which one was the greatest. But that one there is probably the best one. And also when me and Damian Destruction won the tag team championships at ACW. That was a great moment there too. And that sums that up. Like honestly, like there's other moments, but like we got 15 minutes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
we can do that. We can talk about whatever, you know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, is there
um,
anything that we have not talked about that you would like to?
um, I come from a different breed of wrestling, and I am proud to say that the training that I had it made me into what I am. I I might not be the skinniest guy in the ring, but I give more percent of 100 than anyone that's in the ring. I want to excel to the people knowing that like I gave them everything I had. Like my one match against General Kizu, like it was a flag on a pole on the something. It was like a
Like
flag on a pole match,
a flag match.
but it wasn't a flag. It was axe on a pole match.
Oh, the axe handle on
Okay.
the
Yeah,
pole.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yep.
axe handle
Okay,
on a pole, and I beat him for the CCW Tradition Championship. That belt is
right.
beautiful. If you ever seen beautiful belts, you need to come to CCW.
I have seen that belt. I have
He
that
he
traditional
has
title
he
when
has the
Mr. Ping had it.
yeah. Them are the most beautiful championships that anyone's had. I don't care what anyone say. Um, but I have to say that was a good moment there. Um, because it was the guy that I like, and we worked with each other well. We clashed very well,
Yeah,
you
he's
know.
awesome. Brian, I've gotten to know Brian, and we've gotten to know Brian,
Mhm.
and he's an amazing human being.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like Brian right now. Yeah,
Why?
he doesn't talk to me, so I don't like him anymore.
Oh,
He
well,
should
yeah.
have you on the Three Beards podcast. You guys should smooth things out.
Oh, he just doesn't talk. I know he's
Yeah, I'm
busy.
just saying. He's got a podcast, and it's on Monday nights. Or did you not know that?
Yeah, I used to be a part of it.
Well, why'd they get rid of you?
They didn't get rid of me. I just couldn't do it because I had
Oh,
obligations. I just
okay.
couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, no, they'll tell you that. Like I had more obligations going on. I mean, I was probably the funniest motherfucker on there, but
Oh, boy, yeah.
I don't know.
but no,
Shango's pretty funny.
he's dark.
Adrian is a funny fucker.
Adrian's pretty funny.
He's dark. He's not funny.
He can be dark. That is true.
His humor's dark, but he ain't funny. No, all them guys are great. Three Beers of Wrestling was awesome. I came up with the name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, they support us. We support them. Then free plug. Those guys are on Monday nights at 7 on YouTube. If you want to look them up.
Yeah, absolutely. You
I want
should.
my money. I
Tomorrow
want my
night,
money.
7 o'clock.
I want my
Give,
money.
and give Malcolm his man.
They owe you some
I,
royalties, or what?
Yeah, I came up with the name. So if y'all making money, you owe me some money.
that's fair. That's fair.
They know I came up with the name. Before darkness was there, I was there.
I love it.
Oh my
No,
God, we
but
got some Rick James going now. The darkness was there.
Yeah. So
darkness
what do you
was
got? So what else you got going? Like, what do you got going coming up? Where people can see you wrestle?
I actually don't know where I'm wrestling next. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I know I'm going to be at PPCW, PCWA, CCW, Valor Pro Wrestling. Um, actually, I've been venturing back into West Virginia. I got a funny story about West Virginia. So, I've been going to WDWA up in Martinsburg, West Virginia, which I got a message, my man's, and get in contact with him again.
Mm-hmm.
Just the dates clashed with each other, so like I couldn't make certain shows, stuff like that. But Big Nasty debuted down there, and man, they loved us. Like
Nice.
we knew they were gonna love us because like it's who's not gonna love us because like we put 110 on it. Um,
Right.
I actually grew up in West Virginia. I went to school to Hoppers Ferry, West Virginia, and lived in Shenandoah Mountains.
Wow.
So I'm originally from DC. Spoiler,
Originally from DC, why do you bill yourself from Chicago? Out of curiosity.
You know what? The Road Warriors.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I actually lived there for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't long. It was like 6 months, a year, something like that. But it wasn't long. And I knew I had to get the fuck out of there within 6 months. But no, from Chicago, Illinois,
Mm-hmm.
Marvelous Malcolm King. It just all came together. So I mean, you think about it, the Road Warriors, and also it was like um, Malcolm King, am the most pure thing. This is Marvelous Malcolm. I mean, this was before Marvelous. Malcolm King, I'm the purest thing on this planet. Everybody else is just race trading son of a bitches. Now, nobody can top me because I'm the best pure wrestler in this business, and can't nobody top me. And if you got something wrong about that you want to say to me, I'll fix your face for you with my right hook. Like just stuff like that. Like, and it was everybody was like, "Oh, you too nice of a guy," and I was like, "Yeah, nah, I can't do it no."
Yeah, but you know what? We've seen you a lot as a heel in 3WA. Like you can piss them off if you want to.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, when they talk about my ass, then I'll be like, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna sit it right here."
Yeah. You
That
were
one
you were
lady,
really good with that.
that one lady at Triple WA with the like four teeth missing on the top, talking about how you can put a screen on that ass. Why are you looking at my ass, lady? You staring at it pretty hard, aren't you?
You're so good at that. Those like little on the fly reactions and stuff. It's very like I would read about Tracy Smothers where somebody would like give him shit and he would immediately come back with something like, "Hey, do I come down to Burger King and bother you at work?" Yeah, he
Yeah,
would just have something and he would demolish that person and get instantly more heat from that person and from everybody else. And you're really good at that too.
there was a time at Triple WA. There was a girl who was like, "But you're fat." I go, "Yeah, but you're ugly." She was like, "My outfit is more than yours." I go, "My shoes cost more than your outfit, and my outfit costs more than your whole wardrobe." And she was like, you still stink." I go, I've been smelling you for like the last 15 minutes, but I ain't say anything." Needless to say, that little girl shut up.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's a skill. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can have that kind of timing where you can be focused on your match and doing what you need to
I hope you
do.
guys aren't
But
distracted by
you
these geese flying
improvise.
over my fucking head right now. Here, watch.
Nah,
Yeah.
Okay.
That
um,
to me, where I live, that's just a soundtrack that I deal with all the time. Not more.
funny thing, up here where I'm at, there's a geese. This park was infested with geese, so they were trying to get rid of them, do everything they can or whatever. So I probably shouldn't say this, but it was funny. So this motherfucking goose bit me one day or whatever, right?
Oh shit.
Like he's got like, but like luckily he got my pants. Man, I grabbed that motherfucker, and he's like, "Ah!" I was like, "Don't fucking bite me again." And he goes to do it again. I go, "You know what? It's time to leave this park." And then here comes the guy that's wrangling them up, grab him by the throat, throw it in the cage. I go, "Man, why would you do that?"
They can get vicious, man.
They can.
Yeah,
If they're defending their territory or their goslings or anything like that, they can get nasty bastards, man.
Yeah.
yes. But like
I,
honestly though, I like what I do. I really do appreciate the fans. Um, you caught me on a good day. Like I'm like I
You
have
seem like
nothing
you're in a
bad.
great mood.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
man. Like I'm in a great mood. Even though like my dad's in the hospital right now, and my
I'm sorry
aunt
to hear
passed
that.
away.
Yeah.
My aunt passed away on Monday. And,
Oh my
Oh,
like
God.
I'm in
Sorry.
a good place. So
is there any
and my
chance you
dad's
could be at the 3WA 44th anniversary on Saturday?
no.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough.
You never
All
know.
right, man. Where can everybody?
You
Yeah, where
never
can
know.
Oh, it's
every?
one of those. It's one
What?
of those no's.
Yeah, it's one of those no's. I don't ask a
Um,
second question when I hear that.
yeah, no, it's one of them. If you go to Triple WA, you going to see something that you always want to see, and that's wrestling.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Support the local indies, no matter
Yeah.
where it is, and you might see Malcolm King there because you never
You
know.
might. You never know. That's the thing. So, all right, man. We wish you. Obviously, we're gonna have you on again because we ran out of time. But I tell you what, this was a long time coming, and I apologize it took us this long to get you on here, man. But we want to hear more of your stories and more about everything you're doing, man. Because every time Keith and I have seen you, we've been in awe. We've just been in awe, and I hope that you've taken the time to go on like the YouTube channels and catch our commentary on some of your matches because it was an
Oh yeah,
honor
I
to
love it.
call. It was what was that?
I love it.
Oh,
Oh
thank you
yeah,
so much.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
Really appreciate that.
Yes, and I tell you, it's an honor calling your matches, man. We have a good time
Yeah.
doing it because you do get that reaction. You have the passion for the business. You love whether it's making them cheer, whether it's pissing them off, man. You do it well, and just keep doing what you're doing. And I love the fact that you're starting your own school. That's fucking awesome. You're paying it
Yeah.
forward because you
right.
started with Rob way back when, and now you're going to start training the next generation of people, and that's pretty cool.
18 years, and the best moment I must say this at Triple WA that I had
Okay.
was when Mel Havoc cow tipped me, and when I body slammed him.
Yeah. Because I mean, my God, how many people can say they body slam Mal Havoc?
Right.
Like I broke a chair on his head and body slammed him. And when I did it, you watch the crowd. The crowd just reacted like, "Holy shit!" And when Mal Cow tipped me, you could see in the video where there's a guy in the background on the back row at the wall. He's like, "Yeah!" I was like, he might have been drunk, but he remembered that. So
I love it, man. So if you want to see Malcolm King in action, check out the Facebook pages of CCW, of Valor, of Seven Mountains. He's usually involved in one or all three of them,
Yeah.
almost every single month. If you want to get in touch with him, go find him on Facebook. You'll find him. He's easy to find. Is there anything else that you want people to know before we get out of here, man?
I want everyone to know that Jesus loves you. No matter what you think is going on through your day or your night, there's always somebody there for you, and his name is Jesus Christ. He loves you. You just need to accept everything that you do is not always perfect. But remember, there's somebody that loves you no matter what.
I love it, man. Professor and I will be back on Tuesday for some wrestling hot topics. That's our new Tuesday show on Tuesdays at 7. We like to just talk wrestling outside the indie scene. We like to talk stuff that mainstream, whatever's going on TV or AEW or maybe some breaking news. What's
Yeah,
that,
and you know
Professor?
what? You know what too, Al? Maybe after we do a show, maybe we should add in some of our thoughts there. Maybe give people a little inside baseball with that. Not anything too inside, but just kind of the fun of what it's like working a show. I think people might be interested in that without getting, too behind the curtain. Because I think most people don't really want to know how the sausage is made, but they like a little bit of peeling it back without really peeling it back. Maybe we could add that in too. We're still experimenting.
Sounds good to me, Professor. We'll see everybody on Tuesday. And it's Malcolm King. It's been a pleasure, my friend.
I appreciate everything y'all did today, man. Like Y'all made me feel great. I appreciate everything, and God bless you both.
Sir.
Thank you.
Also, check out Sports Talk
Where's
on
that? Where can they find that?
on Facebook. You can check it out on Facebook or YouTube. Just type in Sports Talk.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
There it is, man. All right, man. For the professor and marvelous Malcolm King, I'm Big Al. This was Around the Turnbuckle. We'll see you guys soon.
You think you know me?
If you smile.
Calculations are correct.